There are certain professions that seem innocent or even helpful at first glance, but when you dig a little deeper, the layers of manipulation and harm become undeniable. We asked Reddit users what professions they think are truly evil, and the responses might surprise you. Psychics are often portrayed as mystical figures with the power to connect to the unknown. But, as one Reddit user pointed out, these individuals can also be some of the most predatory people you'll ever encounter, especially those who claim to help in the most vulnerable situations. Every single one that's worked with the police or a family looking for a missing loved one is a scammer, one person explained. They prey on people's hope in their darkest times. The mention of someone approaching them in a Target store, claiming they already knew the person needed help, adds to the narrative of manipulation. They lure in people who are desperate for answers or guidance, and then twist that need into financial gain. Famous magician Harry Houdini also had a special hatred for psychics. After his mother passed away, Houdini participated in a séance with Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes. The medium claimed to be channeling Houdini's mother, but she made a fatal mistake. She spoke English, a language Houdini's mother never knew. The encounter set Houdini on a crusade to debunk psychics and expose their deceit. While psychics may prey on grief and desperation, there's another group that capitalizes on innocence and cuteness: family vloggers and influencers. One Reddit user highlighted the story of Micah and James Stauffer, influencers who adopted a special needs child from China, only to rehome him when things got tough. They gained a lot of their popularity by sharing their adoption journey, the Redditor commented. And then they just gave him away. Their words, not mine. It's shocking to think that a child's life could be treated as content, but it doesn't stop there. Some users brought up examples like Ryan's World, a hugely successful YouTube channel where a young boy plays with toys. The parents get paid massive amounts to essentially advertise toys to kids. One Redditor explained, "My concern is, what happens when Ryan isn't cute anymore or doesn't want to play with toys? The fear is real. Many of these children might grow up realizing their whole childhood was a means for their parents to make money. What happens to their sense of self when the cameras stop rolling?" On the surface, human resources, HR, might seem like the department that takes care of employees. But some Reddit users pointed out that in certain companies, HR can be the very opposite of helpful. "I've been working in HR for a while, and I've seen some truly evil practices," one person shared. In some places, you're expected to gaslight employees, dig up old reasons to fire someone, or make them believe they're not doing the job right. This darker side of HR can leave employees feeling like they have no support, with their careers hanging in the balance based on manipulative tactics. It's a stark reminder that not everything in the corporate world is as it seems. Payday loan providers promise quick relief for people in need, but they are often just a gateway to financial ruin. One Redditor shared a personal story about their father-in-law working for a payday loan company. "He actually believes he's helping people," they explained, "because they come in to get money for food or bills. But what he doesn't see is how these loans trap people in a cycle of debt. They have recurring customers who never escape. These companies prey on vulnerable individuals who are desperate for money, offering what seems like a lifeline but is actually a noose. They make money by charging exorbitant interest rates, and the cycle can be nearly impossible to break." While payday loan providers and HR departments may engage in unethical practices, nothing compares to the horror of human trafficking. It's a profession that embodies pure evil. As one Reddit user put it, "At least with a hitman, there's an end to it. Either the person dies or they live. But with human trafficking, these people are deceived and handed off into a life of terror." Victims of human trafficking often never escape the horrors they're subjected to. And even when they do, the scars are lifelong. It's an industry that preys on the vulnerable, using manipulation and fear to control their lives. Debt is a burden that many people struggle with, and companies like National Debt Relief claim to offer a way out. But Reddit users were quick to call out the deceit involved. They trick vulnerable people into worsening their credit, one person explained. You think they're helping, but they're actually just piling on more debt. These companies promise a way out of financial stress, but often make the situation worse, leaving people in a worse state than when they started. And it's not just debt relief scams that fall under this umbrella. Predatory towing companies, payday loans, and similar businesses also make a profit off of people in desperate situations. Celebrities often speak out about how invasive the paparazzi can be, but one Redditor shared their own frustration with this profession. They're not just people doing a job, they're leeches, the user wrote. I saw a program where a paparazzo tried to make it seem like he was just doing his job, but he came across as slimy and unpleasant. It's easy to forget that celebrities are people too, and having someone constantly invade their privacy can be deeply unsettling. But for the paparazzi, the money made from one good photo can make the ethical concerns disappear. Finally, there's the health insurance industry, where decisions that should be made by doctors are often determined by people at desks. Redditors pointed out how adjusters deny coverage for essential treatments like MRIs or surgeries, not based on medical advice, but on what's cheaper for the insurance company. One Redditor summed it up perfectly. You could have cancer, but unless you're wealthy, you don't get to know because an insurance adjuster doesn't think it's worth the cost. For a company making billions of dollars in revenue, this kind of behavior feels not only unjust but downright evil. It's a profession that profits from people's pain and suffering, all while hiding behind paperwork and policies. Each of these professions or industries has one thing in common. They prey on the vulnerable, whether it's a grieving person seeking answers, a child exploited for views, or someone in desperate financial need. It's a sobering reminder that evil can take many forms, and sometimes it's lurking where you least expect it. Have you ever felt like the systems meant to support us are working against us? From healthcare to politics, and even to the products we buy, there are hidden mechanisms in place that don't have our best interests at heart. Let's take a journey into some industries that may seem normal on the surface, but beneath are built on greed, manipulation, and exploitation. Imagine you're unwell, and instead of your doctor prescribing the best treatment for your health, they suggest a cheaper alternative because your insurance company pressures them to do so. It sounds absurd, right? But this is a reality for many. Insurance companies profit by denying claims or offering subpar care, hoping you won't fight back. Unlike most businesses, which lose customers if they offer bad service or products, health insurers rake in profits by putting their bottom line ahead of your health. Car insurance is somewhat better since they fight for you if another driver is at fault. But when it comes to health insurers, your body itself becomes the enemy. It's mind-boggling how in today's world, we allow such a system to persist. The opioid crisis is one of the darkest chapters in modern history. Imagine industries that profit from addiction, pharmaceutical companies, and drug cartels alike thrive on the destruction they cause. The more lives they ruin, the more their profits soar. A close friend of mine, now clean after rehab, once dealt hard drugs. Reflecting on that time, he confessed, I was destroying not only my life but the lives of others, and I didn't even care. It was all about the drugs and money. His transformation is inspiring today. He's an advocate for sobriety, doing his part to clean up our city and fight the very cycle of destruction he once perpetuated. But think about it, industries built on addiction, It's a system designed to harm, not heal. Many say politics attracts the wrong kind of people. Quoting from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, "Those who most want to rule are the least suited to do it." Think about it. Anyone who can rise to become president or prime minister probably shouldn't be in charge in the first place. It's not hard to see why. Politicians are often more concerned with power and control than serving the people. Too many of them act like puppets for corporations, ensuring that their real constituents, the wealthy elite, remain happy, while the rest of us are left behind. Nestle is notorious for one of the most heartless marketing strategies of all time. They sent fake nurses into impoverished parts of Africa and Asia to convince new mothers that breastfeeding was harmful. Imagine mothers, already struggling to afford food, being coerced into buying overpriced and unhealthy baby formula, all while believing they were doing the best for their children. Many babies didn't survive due to the lack of nutrition in the formula, and the company pocketed profits with little remorse.